The following lesson addresses Learning Outcome 2, Reading and Viewing. It addresses the assessment standard that requires learners to explore and explain key features of texts and how they contribute to meaning. Learners should be able to describe plot, subplot, character portrayal, conflict, and dramatic purpose.
Hi there, I'm Nelly Mabaso. I'm in a theatre here at the National School of Arts in Johannesburg. In this lesson, we will further explore the idea of plot. We know that plot refers to the events or incidents that make up the action of a story as they are linked by cause and effect. Remember, when you analyze how a particular plot works in terms of cause and effect, ask yourself, what happens? And why does it happen? What is the cause and what is the effect? Often, Shakespeare gives his audience clues about the plot in the opening scene of the play. If you know how to look for these clues and how to interpret them, then you'll have a pretty good idea of what the play is about without even reading the whole play. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain how plot is established in an opening scene. Explain how the plot will develop by analyzing an opening sequence. Our scene is from the play Macbeth. Act 1, Scene 1, an open place, thunder and lightning. The information that you are given here is important for your interpretation of the play, especially if you are reading the play as opposed to seeing it being performed. Let's look at it again. We are in an open place and we hear thunder and lightning. What images do you associate with thunder and lightning? And then we read, enter 3 witches.
When shall we 3 meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won, that will be ere the set of sun.
Where the place?
On the heath, there to meet with Macbeth.
I come, Grey Malcolm. Had our calls.
Anon. Foul is fair, hover through the fog and fill the air.
Think about it. How do the setting and sound effects help the plot of the play? As you can see, the setting is an open place. Perhaps the heath, the flat, open stretch of land they mentioned. It appears to be a barren and lifeless place. This creates the audience's expectation of something drab and desolate. The thunder and lightning have a special meaning for an Elizabethan audience. These sounds are associated with bad weather, like a storm, and for an Elizabethan audience, that would indicate disorder in the elements. So, an Elizabethan audience would not be too surprised when 3 witches enter. The thunder and lightning have already encouraged them to think of destruction and chaos, and then they see 3 figures that are associated with disorder. What kind of story are we expecting as we see the witches enter the stage? Perhaps something evil and terrifying will happen in this play. Now, let's have a closer look at the words said by the witches. What clues do we get about the events that are happening And that will happen from what is said in the opening scene.
When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
The three witches are planning another meeting. They will meet again. But when will they meet? Listen carefully to what the second witch has to say.
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
But what is the hurly-burly? The next line helps us. When the battle's lost and won. So, there is a war going on at the moment, and the witches will meet when the confusion, the hurly-burly of the war is over. Is that going to be quite soon? Where will they meet?
That will be ere the set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath, there to meet with Macbeth.
The witches are going to meet again very soon. In fact, that will be ere the set of sun, or before the sun sets. And why will the witches meet again so soon? To meet with Macbeth. And they are going to meet upon the heath, the desolate, lifeless place where this meeting is already taking place. What expectations do you now have about what the play will be about? We expect to find out more about this battle. Who is fighting and why? We know the battle will be over before the day ends, and so we expect to hear who won and who lost. The outcome of the battle will clearly affect the further events of the play. But there is more. We expect to see the meeting between Macbeth and the witches. We want to know what happens, and to find out who he is and why the witches have chosen him over all others to meet. So, we have been given a great deal of information about the plot in a short space of time to excite us and to encourage us to look forward to the events unfolding.
Come, Grey Malkin. Paddock calls.
Anon.
Do you know who Grey Malkin and Paddock are? Grey Malkin is a grey cat, and Paddock is a toad. Each witch has a familiar or assistant. Familiars are devils or spirits in the shape of animals like cats and toads, and they were the witch's link to the spirit world. There are also other references that indicate the presence of witches. Remember the opening lines of the scene.
When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
Did you notice the reference to the number 3? Well, in those days, it was believed that witches often appeared in groups of 3. Also, the reference to thunder, lightning, and rain helps to conjure up an evil atmosphere. Listen to the last lines of the scene. What do you think the witches are saying?
Fair is foul, foul is fair. Hover through the fog and fill the air.
Fair is foul, and foul is fair. To the witches, what is evil is good, and what is good they find repulsive. This is their attitude to life. Also, this could be a warning to the audience that the events that are about to follow are not what they seem. All these references and the mention of even the air being filthy help to create a supernatural atmosphere. Clearly, this scene suggests that things are dangerous and unnatural, disturbed and wicked, and we expect a plot that will show why these things develop and what their consequences are. We are not expecting a light-hearted comedy after such a beginning. These women are known in the text of the play as the Weird Sisters. They are the most dangerous characters in the play. They are tremendously powerful and utterly wicked. And they are greatly feared by everyone. In the next lesson, you will learn about characterization, and we will specifically look at Lady Macbeth's character development. Your task is to read the play or a good synopsis of the play before we shall meet again.